Deuteronomy 28 verse 18 says that curse shall be the fruit of thy body. You know what that means?
Your children.
Your children. Your children. And children today are cursed. They're lazy. They're angry. They're immoral. They're having sex before time. They have no courage to speak up for righteousness' sake. They don't respect their parents. They hate the word. I mean, it's hard to find blessed children today. They're weak. And then in their state, they leave the home and then they have to go out and deal with the real devil in the world, whether it's school or whatever, and the devil in the world overtakes them even more so. And then they turn against you even more so. When your kids are having sex out of wedlock and when they can't provide for themselves as young adults, when they cannot recognize evil and resist it, they're cursed. Your body, the fruits of your body is cursed. They're not blessed. Yes, they may have a little money. Yes, they may be able to go to a fancy school or whatever, but they're still cursed. They have no insight. They're cursed. And then they're a headache the rest of your life. Our children are not supposed to be a headache the rest of our lives. They're supposed to be a blessing to us. But because we're cursed, we are reproducing this in our own image. And then we excuse it. Oh, everybody's going to do it. The world is tough. Oh, you okay it. But you're cursing. You're not thinking of it or seeing it for what it really, really is. Because you're going along with the teaching of the enemy. Satan is of the world. He owns the world around us. And he's doing well in teaching his children to teach us and make us go along with it. I'm not going along with it, but most people are. Because they give it fancy names. Your children are not blessed when they leave home and you got to still take care of them. When I left home at 18, I don't even remember my grandmother sending me one penny to help me out. I don't even think I ever asked, to be honest. But they had taught me to work, so I was able to, even though I was cursed in other ways, I was able to provide for myself. You know?
It was different. I mean, we used to, when I left home, not only did I provide for myself, but I came back to provide for my parents.
That's right.
But it's the total reverse now.
Totally reverse, because the curse. Children are cursed, and they're going to have cursed children. And then we're going to hide behind rocks.
Have what?
Hide behind rocks from our own children. Our children are going to come after us and kill us. They don't have to send somebody else's child. When you get home tonight, shoot mama. Mama's mean. Mama doesn't want you to have sex before marriage. She's mean. Building that anger. And all of a sudden you're looking like the enemy. We need to wake up. We need to wake up to what's going on. It's not a game that's happening. I want to give you another quick one here. Okay, the children are cursed. And if you really look at your children, and I don't know all your kids here, but you can look at your children and know if they're cursed or not. Even the little ones. It's a curse to let society weaken the boys, make them play with the girls in these different sports. That's a curse. To take away a man's masculinity is a curse. Because the masculinity represents God. That's what builds the foundation of the family. That's what guides the wife and the children. And to sacrifice your children, your boys, to these little girls, because they say we got a, whatever they call it. They have fancy names for it. It's a curse. He's going to grow up emasculated or demasculated?
Emasculated. Emasculated.
Huh? Emasculated. They're going to grow up like that. Isn't that a curse? Or maybe I'm wrong. Who disagree that that's a curse? That's a curse. Because you're wiping God out of the picture at an early age. The men represent God. But if God is taken out of your nature, when you are helpless to the enemy around you, you will never be able to represent him as a man growing up. And then they'll give you a welfare check. I was looking at Oprah Winfrey's show yesterday. I thought she was going to have Mike Tyson on there, but she had Chris Rock.
Yeah, Mike Tyson on
Monday,
Monday.
huh?
Yeah.
She had Chris Rock on there, right? And Chris Rock has this movie out. I haven't seen it yet, but I think I will, about nappy-headed black women.
I saw it.
I was like, Chris is my friend. But when he came out on stage, Oprah went like this. Oh, hi, baby. Welcome, baby. I'm like, that's the worst thing you could possibly call a man, a baby. And Chris, I could see this little childlike, weak personality when she called him baby. Here she is, big mama calling him baby. He's a grown man. But black women you could be 190 years old and they call men babies. And the men just grin and take it. They don't even defend themselves. I'm not a baby. There's something wrong with this. Or maybe it's something wrong with me. Is there something wrong with me? Well, am I taking this thing to the extreme?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I'm taking it to the extreme.
I think so. I mean, I've been here 2 years and you don't know my name, but I don't take that negative.
Right.
Just like when I call my 28-year-old son, and I've thought about that since you said it. When I call him baby, I mean, that's my child, fruit of my womb. He's 28 years old. He has 3 boys, but he's still my baby.
But he's not.
You're right. You're right. And he knows that.
And then you should remind me, and you're right, after 2 years I should know your name. But I've known Francisco almost 20 years. And after sometimes say boy to him. It's something wrong with my brain.
Boy and baby. I'd rather call my son baby than boy.
If he doesn't like it, he should correct it.
Right.
We let what happened to us happen.
Right.
That's my point.
But isn't the
So am I extreme now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
if she
but-
calls him boy, does that mean she's treating him like a boy, or does that just mean that's an
Now, when I say
term?
boy, I do it in a joking like way.
Right, no.
But most of the time when women say, not all women, say boy, it's demeaning. It does something to your soul.
It does something to men, so
Yes. It does something to him inside where he just kind of ride with it. Because he's already been so demeaned growing up by a woman, you know. And so that thing, if he has not overcome that, it does something inside. And that's why he can't correct it. Because it has an inward effect on him. And a boy, a man, anybody over 21 according to, I think that any boy that can take care of himself and like they're doing is a man, really. Have possessive self-control, working for himself. But when these black women calling these black men baby and boy and come here baby, yes sweetie, it's demeaning. But I can't blame the woman for it because he's allowing it to happen. But he's allowing it to happen because he doesn't understand that feeling that he feels that draws him to that. It's an inner conflict that he has going on. So you have all this dynamic going on there. Maybe Oprah doesn't feel it, doesn't mean harm about it. But Chris allowed it to happen, but still, she should know not to call a grown man. I don't hear black women calling white men babies. Now, they may do it, but I don't hear it. They only do it primarily to black men.
do you think she's trying to demean him? Or
I said she may not be trying, it's just,
I think she is.
I'm just saying it does demean.
It's a family nurturing kind of thing.
It's a what?
Whether it's right or wrong, okay?
You say a family nurturing? What does that mean? I really don't know what that means.
I beg your pardon?
What does that mean, a family nurturing?
It means that I call my son and my nephew sometimes, baby, because I saw them being raised. I mean, it's a family nurturing kind of
But
thing.
you don't hear
now,
men.
you don't expect them to act like babies.
But they do.
Reprimand them when you
Yeah,
act like babies and get on.
She answered her own question, though. Once someone is a full-grown man, they don't need nurturing anymore.
Right. They only need your nurturing from birth until 3. And then cut out the nurturing.
Okay. Okay, good question, Jesse. It's kind of off the subject,
Yes.
but I noticed that Caucasians young men and Hispanics or Mexicans, whatever, Latino. They always call, like, they'll call me or other black men, they'll call them, hey bro, or some other terms. That
Demeaning.
I'm seeing a lot of that. I know that you must get it when you're out, right?
Yeah.
And I said, where did this come from?
That's how black men have portrayed themselves, and they're trying to get along with us. And so they'll call us.
That's disrespectful.
Right, but we got to let them know that, and then we got to stop acting that way. That's how we act. Hey, bro, we all brothers. I heard a radio show yesterday while I was in my car. It was on a black station, and the host were, "Good morning, family."
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That is so demeaning to black people. We're not all families, and it's like a mothering. Hello, family. You can call in, family. We're gonna have something at the park today, family. And then the black people call in. Good morning, family. Praise the Lord, Sister Elsa and Sister this. Sister. I'm like, can we get it a dumber? Can we get in a dumber? But that's why whites and Hispanics do that, because that's how blacks are acting. Everybody's bro. And then they don't shake hands. They, nah, like, leave my hands alone. I don't even need all that on my hand. Shake my hand and let's get moving. Now, I may be extreme. I'm just sick of evil winning. I'm sick of a weak society. I'm sick of weak men. I'm sick and sick and sick of this stuff that's taken over. Let me give you another quick example. Our time is just absolutely flying by. Okay, so your children are cursed. Can you kind of recognize now when your children are cursed instead of being in denial about it? Because if you can recognize it, recognizing it would cause it to change. Let me give you another example of the curse. Deuteronomy 28, verse 24. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. You know, a perfect example of that, a big example for everybody, is Detroit, Michigan. The dust, nothing but dust in Detroit, is being destroyed. The people cursed. I mean, Detroit is a perfect example of what happens to a whole city, or inner city aspect at least, when you turn away from God. It's nothing but darkness, totally cursed. And if that's not an awakening to us of what can happen all around our country, if we continue to turn away from God, then I don't know what's going to wake us up. But you know what they say the solution is? Government money. We need more government. We need more programs. The people are literally lining up at the convention center there, thinking that the government is going to give them some money and save their lives. They're pounding on each other, stomping on each other. I mean, young people, healthy people who are able to get out there and earn a living have refused to do it for however many years, and now the whole city is cursed. Crime, rape, every disease you can think of, no money, corrupt leadership, the men are pathetic, the land is dry. Because they've turned away from the Father. They've turned away from God. And He's letting us see this, but we don't see it. We go, oh, okay, yeah, more programs. Or we'll blame the politicians. We are responsible as children of God. They can't do any more to us than what we allow. Evil can only do what you allow it to do. And if you're operating in darkness, it's going to turn your land into dust. Your children, everything you touch is going to be. Do you see that? How many of you thought about that this week? Oh yeah, this is a perfect example of curse, to be cursed. Or did you go along with the distractions? I want you to wake up. We got to wake up. Greater is He that's in us than he that's in the world. It really is. And next week, we're going to get into some of the blessings. And I want to tell you today that when you turn back to God, you will be blessed.